because this conversation is making me think about comparison, self-esteem, and then validation. Because I used to seek out validation, I feel like a lot more when I was younger. And maybe this is as you get older kind of thing, you start to accept more parts of yourself and you don't really need anyone else to validate it. Because I don't really I like what I do, but I'm also okay with it being imperfect, which I feel like I want us to talk about as well. But I don't really look for a whole lot of validation. And that's why sometimes I'm like, I need to believe it first. If I believe it, I won't really need anything outside of you because it's outside of me because it's me. It's like, it starts with me. If I'm confident that I can do this, whether you tell me or not, I believe it. So I'm going to be the one to go for it because you're not going to try or you're not going to do it for me. You're not going to do the work for me. Yeah. I have to do the work myself. So I'm thinking that over time, as my self-esteem gets maybe higher, I don't compare as much, even though I do compare still. And because of that, I don't feel as much that I need to be validated.
Yeah. And I think that's a really, really great point that you make. I think where that can often go left is that when you are feeling low, you feeling like you have to prove yourself before anybody else can show you. So it's like this idea of almost like you deserve love at every stage, every level that you're at, no matter what. Oh, man. Okay. And I think that's what people struggle with is like, well, I'm at my lowest, so I can't receive anything until I pick myself up. And it's like, no, you still deserve love there. And you're still worthy of being able to receive the love even in your lowest. You have to accept it, though. But a lot of times we don't accept it because we treat low self-esteem or low self-image or low self-worth as being like, I'm not good enough to take this.
Okay, so when I'm trying to think about, because what you said makes me think about how I feel like a lot of men, and I'm not trying to make this a women versus men kind of thing at all, but I do feel like a lot of men maybe feel that way because it's like, as far as being deserving of certain things, because we feel like we have to earn everything. Yeah. And it seems like that's what we're taught. Do you think that's an unhealthy state of thinking?
I think, again, it's really how you receive it. Because I think that, for one thing, masculinity and the way in which we are taught masculinity often comes from a standpoint of being a protector and a provider. Yeah. And I think the extent of what we mean by protecting and providing is often misguided because we see it from a physical standpoint and we see it from a financial standpoint. We don't ever consider what does it mean to be an emotional protector or provider. We don't talk about mental or spiritual or all these other elements in which you can provide that doesn't look like I have $1 million and I'm paying for everything, or ways in which aren't like I can beat up every single person who walks through this door, right? There are so many steps that you can take there's a lot of nuance, essentially, what I'm saying. And I think the way in which men are taught is in a vacuum. It's like you're either the strongest, you're either the fastest, the hardest, the biggest, the whatever that is. And I think that's where it gets unhealthy because then we chase this image and masculinity isn't just that. It's not that small bubble that everybody's trying to fit into.
Okay, so I very much agree with you there because I feel that a lot of times it seems like I just need to be able to beat everyone up and I need to be able to pay for everything just protect. I need to be able to protect you and buy whatever for whoever I care about, right? But as I've gotten older, I've learned more that I need to be aware of how I feel because once I can do that, it helps my community because I can tell them, look, this is how I'm feeling and this is how it's holding me back. I know this, but I'm telling you so now that you know, and then you can maybe help me, kind of work with this because that's something that I feel like I grew up with. I feel like since I was young, I've actually been very emotionally aware because for one of my parents, I'm an only child. For my other parent, I'm one of 7 now, right? So with my mom, I've always had the relationship to where I can always talk to her. I've had that same relationship with my dad as well. But I've spent most of my life living with my mom. So I would talk to her about a lot of things. And plus she would always tell me like, look, dude, it's just you. So if something's going wrong, I know who it is. But I've also just been able to talk to her because she is, between my parents, obviously more feminine. So I think that's made it easier for me. So what are your thoughts on that?
I think that your mom created a lot of safety for you that allowed you to feel like you were able to talk to her. I think that in terms of safety, men can also create safety.
Yes.
I think that a lot of times, especially when we come from a father standpoint, our fathers are usually the ones who drill security into us and protection and strength. And these ideas of masculinity that we end up becoming very performative in how we show it. But there's also men who create safety and allow you to talk. Like, you're somebody in my life who, if I'm feeling sad or if I'm like, dang, bro, like I'm going through it, like I can talk to you. And there's no fear and judgment. There's no like, I feel less of a man. I know men who I can't talk to about anything feeling wise or how bad this day was or how much do I like this girl, because the way in which their masculinity is performing in front is like, I'm tough. Like that's that toxic masculinity. So I think that to answer the question that you asked is like based on your upbringing of what I know, right? It's like your mom created that space for so you felt comfortable. I think that if your father created that same equal space, or any man in your life created the same equal space, you would have no problem talking to them about certain stuff like that. I think it's harder for us, like me to include it, because it's like my mom is the one who I've always seen be the emotional one. Yeah. So like I equated that to being, oh, that's a feminine trait. But then I also have met men who are also very, very, very strong. Yeah. But they're also like very, very emotionally aware. So they have those qualities. So that's why I'm always like, when debates of like masculine energy and feminine energy, that's why I'm always, they kind of lose me a little bit, because I think it depends on like the person, you know what I mean? Like I think somebody can create space for both. It's just a matter of like, where are they at? Where is their emotional depth? Where is their emotional intelligence? And where is their like all the other qualities, their strength and how they show up, and are they consistent and all those things? Yeah.
Because both of my parents, like they both have allowed that space for me. Because I think that wall was basically broken down when basically something I thought I was gonna have to take to the grave. Right. I told both of them. They were both like, because of what it was, they were like disappointed. But I think it was mainly because I was holding it on my own. They were like, why didn't you tell us this?
Yo, and you know what's so crazy like, about that, bro? I feel like, again, getting back to what I was saying earlier, it's us who blocks it. It's us who blocks it. Like there's people who in my life, like I thought like, oh, I'm never gonna be able to talk to about certain things. And then one day I get to a space where I'm like, bro, I don't care. I'm gonna just tell. And then they're always like that same reaction, like, why didn't you just come sooner? Like, why didn't you talk to me? Like, I'm here for you, dog. Like, what are we talking about? You know what I mean? And I think a lot of times, like, we as people block our own blessings and don't always receive the love that we actually have cultivated in our life because of the internal perception of how we're supposed to show up, or the comparison that we make of other people, or where we think we're supposed to be, that we hold it all in. And it's like, yo, this is just me. I have to figure it out myself. Where it's like, nah, bro, you have a community, you have a village, and you have people who love you.
See, what's weird with that is that maybe I experienced a little bit of like cognitive dissonance, because these kind of concepts feel familiar yet foreign at times. Because a lot of times I feel like I know I can talk to people. I don't have a problem doing that. I have several men, or a few men in my life, that I don't really feel any lesser of a man when I have to tell them something that I'm going through or anything like that. But at the same time, I am still a man. So there are times where it's like, I know I can talk to you, and now I hear how I block it.
I was about to say.
I'm hearing how I block it. But at the same time,
I'm a man.
It's like, I'm just a man. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just a man.
I'm only a man.
Yeah.
So,
but I think
go ahead.